guys! We're a bit late this week because we've been on holiday, but this week's subject that we're going to go through is deliverance. Yeah, when I was thinking about deliverance, I thought about things like desert islands, and then a story that I'd read a long time ago came to mind. And it's a book that some of you might have read because it was one that was done at school quite a bit, and it's called Kensuke's Kingdom, and it's by Michael Malpago. I probably said that wrong, but never mind. The story is that a young boy, I think he's 11, goes off with his parents in a boat to go around the whole world, and they've quit their jobs, and this is one amazing adventure. So he goes with them along with his dog, but they meet a terrible storm on the way. And during the storm, he and his dog get washed off the boat, and it seems like the boat's just falling to pieces and that they're all lost and they're all going to die. Well, the following morning, he wakes up and he's not on a desert island, he's on a beautiful island, but it's not the easiest place to live. And anyway, he finds his dog and he starts to try and look after himself. Well, he doesn't do too good a job of it, but after a while he finds that there's food and there's water are being brought for him to use. They're obviously not something he's done because they're coming in little bowls. It's a handmade bowls, and it's all ready for him. Anyway, well, he finds after a while that there is a little man, a Japanese man, left from the war, who's been there for 30 or 40 years, and he doesn't even know that the war has ended because he's met nobody since he was washed up on the island, having also been shipwrecked many decades before during the war. So these two learn how to get along, but the point really is that it's kind of the first bit of his deliverance. He gets delivered from starvation and from thirst because this gentleman looks after him. But, to cut a very long story short, he also, at a point, very much gives up on trying to escape from the island because he finds it's a lovely place. In the same way as the man who's been there for maybe 30 or 40 years, he also has got to the point where escape is difficult because he doesn't know where it's to, or what's left, and all the people that he knew were probably dead, and especially when he finds out that the war, from the boy, doesn't know much, but the war ended a long time ago, and he knows that the city of Nagasaki where he was born was bombed. So he doesn't want to be delivered back to where he was before because it's not there anymore. And the boy, in some ways, doesn't want to be delivered back to where he was before because he thinks his parents have drowned. In the end, after nearly a year, he finds a boat arrives, and it's not just any boat. He's not just going to be rescued to a life that he no longer wants, but it's his parents who turn up in the same boat that hadn't actually got smashed up. They survived, and he was able to go home and not just go home, but to be with the family that he loved. So it was a different form of deliverance than he ever expected.
Like the book showed, sometimes we think we know what's best for us, how we actually want to be delivered from a difficult situation. And it can become quite frustrating when what we expect doesn't happen. However, we've actually got to trust that there's a bigger plan out there, and even if we're not delivered in the way we want it to be, there can be deliverance found. So, are there things in your life that you would like to be delivered from? Things that may have gone on for a long time now, and you're kind of sick of persevering? Well, don't get too strapped up in it all. Don't keep dwelling on the circumstance you might find yourself in, but actually try and look for a greater future. As a Christian, we can take all our problems, all our difficult circumstances, and we can leave them to God, because He's much greater than it all. So we can trust and find reassurance and comfort that there is a greater future that we're all going to end up at. So, we just want to leave you with now a few verses from the Bible that shall hopefully encourage you to find and seek and receive the deliverance that you need from your life situation.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Give us true emancipation. Through your sacrifice we will see your kingdom come. Deliverance, deliverance, Yeshua is deliverance from bondage. Obey His word, that you may never stumble into darkness. Yeshua hung upon a tree, the wrath of Yahweh to appease. If that's not love, then I don't know what is. The Father placed our guilt on Him. He paid our debt and removed our sin. If that's not love, then I don't know what is. Deliverance, deliverance, Yeshua is deliverance from bondage. Obey His word, that you may never stumble into darkness. The word of the Lord came to Moshe as he tended his flock at Horeb, saying, Go tell the Pharaoh what I say, set my people free. Moshe